Good evening, everyone. Sorry it's been a while since my last video, but I'm here back with another review. And this tonight it is the new D&D book, Prince of the Apocalypse. I've just got into D&D 5th edition with a group of friends, currently DMing the Lost Mines of Phandelver story that comes with the starter set. For those who would be possibly interested in it, give it a go. It's really fun. So as we go, the book retails £33, which is quite hefty, but after looking through the book, it is quite impressive compared to the two Neo Dragon books that were £20 each. So that's £40 for Revenge, that took you up to level 16, I believe. Where this should take you from levels 1 to 15. Now, as I say, on the review, front cover, really pretty cover. It's a solid book. It's not gonna. Inside, we've got the the foreword, which explains how they went about doing the book. They're saying they could have just reskinned the original Temple of Elemental Evil, but decided against that because it's simple enough. If you wanted to do it, you could do it. So they just took inspiration from the Temple of Elemental Evil and went with that. The usual comedy disclaimer, I'll let you read that yourselves. And then it's broken up into a hefty index page. I'm not going to do page by page, obviously, but the first chapter just really gets you into the story with some gorgeous artwork. Gives you some background on the different cults and the areas you'll be going to. Different factions that are involved in the Forgotten Realms stuff, and reasons for the factions being involved, and also if you don't want factions, gives you story hooks to get away from factions, minor factions. And then chapter 2 goes into the Desarin Valley where it plays out. So you've got a whole chapter dedicated to that world building with some gorgeous maps compared to the previous adventure books. It's still the same style, but it's quite in depth. With all the locations and possible NPCs that you'll come across, with descriptions and motives for them, really. Chapter 2, so that's all chapter 2. This is still all just really sort of location and world building. And then chapter 3, when I get to it, gives us, this is where you would start your adventure as a level 3. Primarily, it's split up so you can jump in as a level 3 here, and you'd be straight into the adventure. Or if you want to start from level 1, you go to chapter 6. It gives you a little brief mini mission essentially to get you to know the area, get to know how you play, and just generally get you up to level 3 so you can start the adventure as full. But it's not disjointed, if that makes sense. And so, we've got adventures, more gorgeous maps of all the dungeons you should be delving. All the way through, really. Chapter 6. Get to the next bit. And then chapter 7. Yeah, so chapter 6 was like build you up from levels 1 to 3, but it's also got side treks, just little missions you can chuck in there if you're not particularly got anywhere for the characters to go straight away, just to give them something to do, inspire the DM effectively. In chapter 7, monsters and magic items. Elemental Evil does give us some new monsters and certainly some new magic items with challenge rating, which is quite good. As we saw from the DM's guide and the monster manual, you will need a monster manual to run this. However, all the different evil characters you're going to come across, both elemental characters and some of the just generally evil people that you may come across. All the princes of the apocalypse, still there. There you go, just your general villains that'll have their own motives and their own missions and agendas. More monsters. As you say, it's plenty packed with monsters. Magic items. You go on to specific elemental items, including each of the weapons for the princes of the prophets of the apocalypse. And then Appendix A gives us, it's just titled Appendix A, Genasi. For those that don't keep up with it, the Wizards of the Coast released the sort of a supplement to the player's handbook, giving us 4 new races, I believe: Arokra, Genasi, Goliaths, and the Deep Gnomes. This, it just reiterates Genasi. I think it's the same as what was in there. For some reason, it's not got the Arokra, the Goliaths, and the Deep Gnomes, but they're free to download as a PDFs. Give some background, give the 4 different types of Genasi, each based on one of the different elements: earth, fire, wind, water. And some spells, specific elemental spells for each class trait that can take spells. You get druid spells, bard spells, etc. And obviously your evil wizards will have these spells, probably quite a lot. But it allows you to pick from them for your players, so you can clean yourself in. An Appendix C, which is really interesting for more experienced DMs. You can take adapting this adventure or elements of this adventure to other worlds. It gives you, the Dark Sun setting, for instance. It gives you sort of a bit of background, how you would translate the different cults over to make more sense of it. Dragonlance, Eberron, Greyhawk, they're all there, and it even gives you, how you would do it in your own world if you be more creative, for instance. And there's an afterword from Chris Perkins saying, what he aimed to do with this book, and then it's just pages of sketches that didn't quite, that inspired the story and just didn't make the places in the footprints, just probably just to inspire, and it really is impressive. It's capturing the elements, and just things you come across. And there's a guy on a walrus, a giant walrus there. It's probably a bit too off the wall for them, but and then the usual what happens next. But yeah, that takes you from levels 1 to 15, it promises, and I really can't wait to get stuck in and take some of my players through that. Thanks for watching as ever. Hopefully I should be able to do more videos in the future. It's just a busy schedule, I'm afraid. Thanks for watching.